Can you believe this? Oprah Winfrey, the queen of daytime television, was once a suspected spy for the CIA. That's right, folks, the beloved media mogul, the woman who built an empire on empathy and generosity, has been shrouded in whispers and rumors of clandestine operations for—
So I've gotten asked like 3 times this week if I think that Paul Walker actually faked his death and he's still alive out there. Now, up until this week, I had never heard this theory, and I was like, I don't know. So then I looked into it, and here's what I found out. Now, we all know that Paul Walker was like a big car guy, like a big car enthusiast. That's probably how he got involved with the Fast and the Furious franchise to begin with. But that love of cars was actually his real life personality. Like, he loved really cool cars. So some people thought it was a little bit coincidental or ironic or strange that he actually died in a cool car. But one of the things that's a little bit weird about this is he was with his friend Roger, and Roger was a professional driver, racer type of person. So Roger would have been super experienced when it comes to driving really fast cars, and it seems a little bit strange and unlikely that, he would end up dying when he had all this experience driving these really crazy cars. With that being said, though, I feel we've heard of instances of, even NASCAR drivers dying in crashes and stuff like that. So that part in and of itself isn't all that strange. But here's where things do get a little bit weird. This is the car that, both of these guys actually ended up passing away in. Let's take note of the license plate. It's 7CCY590. But the license plate that was at the crash site is 3URS93. So why are the license plates different? Did they get swapped out at some point? Because everybody saw him leave with the car with the original license plate, and then all of a sudden this one was at the site. So did the cars get switched? What's going on? This part's a little bit strange. And the other thing that's kind of weird is the story I found out actually leaked before he actually died. So he wasn't even dead yet, and there were all these news outlets already posting about how Paul Walker died in a car accident. So it's almost as if these news outlets already had this information and accidentally released it a little bit early. I had never heard that part before, but that part really got me because that's happened with other celebrity death kind of situations too, where the news accidentally leaks before it actually happens. And so it's what's going on here? So now I'm starting to understand why people are speculating about this, because it seems there's just a lot of things that don't add up that are just a little bit too strange. Any of these things by themselves, other than the news leaking too early, would have been okay, I mean, it could happen, but I feel everything put together, it does make for kind of a suspicious situation. But here's the part I really don't understand. A lot of the other, celebrity deaths that people speculate might have been faked, there's, a very good reason why they might do such a thing. With Paul Walker, I'm having a really hard time finding a motive of, what would make him want or need to fake his own death. He was a pretty big celebrity, but I don't feel he was at mega star status to where he couldn't even live or do anything. I don't know. And I also don't think he was in any trouble that I know of. So if you know of a reason why Paul Walker might have wanted to fake his own death, put it in the comments. Or is there a chance that maybe the death wasn't faked, but maybe it was planned? If so, why?
How would you handle this situation?
Hey! 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 Turn! Hey! What the fuck? Yay!
Oh, they're gonna go right over them, dude. They're down. They're down.
Hey! Hey, asshole!
There's nobody in there. Dude, there's nobody in there. There's nobody on deck. There's nobody in the wheelhouse. Oh my god. We have divers right there. They just ran him over. Those are our divers. Dive flags up.
Obviously, this is a very dangerous situation because, as you could tell, there is a boat heading towards them while they have divers. So if these divers do come up at an unexpected time, they could get hit by the boat. So obviously, I see why they would be mad, but as you can see, the boat passes by and there's nobody inside of it. So just let me know what you guys think in the comments.
كان سمعت صوت في أحد بسم الله خلاص أخاف الرعد والله ما له أثر بسم الله بسم الله في أحد هنا؟ إيش ده؟ بسم الله إيش ذا اللي هنا؟ بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن إيش ده؟ في أحد؟ تراكيس أسود كنيسة خارج شوفوا هنا كمان وش هذا اللي هنا؟ أوه جميل صراحة شوفوا هنا بعد كمان في ناس كانوا مركبين بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بسم الله أعوذ بالله من الشيطان يا أحد من أنت؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أعوذ بكلمات الله التامة من شر ما خلق بسم الله بسم الله الرحيم بسم الله بسم الله إيش هذا أعوذ بالله من
Honestly, this does seem to be some paranormal activity because, as you can tell, there's nobody else in this facility with him, and as he's exploring, things just start getting weirder and weirder. But obviously, it's up to your speculation, so you guys let me know what you think in the comments.
This famous YouTuber tells you exactly what it's like in Hollywood and how the Illuminati parties are.
I show up to this place. I always called it the Illuminati Hub. It was everybody in the fucking world that had some importance was in it. I learned later it was called Delilah. But I didn't know that's how LA moves. Like, all these executives, they might compete with each other in daytime, but at nighttime, they all frequenting and partying in the same spots. They talking business. I didn't know about networking like that. So I show up there because I was at Complex Con. I show up there with like my little chat nigga hoodie. That was my audience, like, name. With like 12 people. I showed up there. Everybody's in suits. That's the first time I seen Steve Stout. Apparently, I never seen Ebro after that, but Ebro and Leslie was in the room too. Ebro, that guy was there. Somebody else from Sony was there. All the important people that you hear about, but you never see. That's why I called it the Illuminati meeting, because I couldn't believe that. Wait, all y'all powerful music people be in the same room? I thought it was beef. Because y'all artists beef with each other? It's not.
Kanye West set up a Christian private school called Donda Academy. For context, Donda is his late mother. But this school isn't like any other school. These kids have uniforms, which is understandable, but there's also an NDA they have to sign. And some of the clips that we've seen, it's a little bit cult-ish. Just watch.
Good morning, Donda! 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 Reign forever. You reign forever. You reign forever.
The Good Morning Donda is probably for an intro for one of his songs, but it's still crazy they have to sign NDAs. And what the hell is this? Like, everyone's just walking and then this thing comes. It's like the Stranger Things Demogorgon or whatever it's called. But at least North is living her best life. She looks like she's super happy. What do you guys think of Donda Academy? Would you send your children there?
As a child, what was so present with boys' toys? Remember everybody with the Tonka trucks?
Yeah.
Now, I have a theory.
Oh.
Check this out, bro.
Oh.
I have a theory. The people in charge, fam, they know once kids start seeing other jobs that appeal to them more, they're gonna stop wanting to do the trades jobs and the blue-collar jobs because it's not as, I guess, like, enticing. At a young age, they start brainwashing us. That's why we see Tonka trucks, feel me? The construction hats and shit. Remember that show Mighty Machines? It's all about that. And it's on the kids' channel, fam. What else? Bob the Muffin Builder, bro.
Yeah.
The same shit. Mario was a what?
Plumber. What the
Check this out, fam. The one TV show that's still popping with children today is Paw Patrol, bro. Paw Patrol. Check this out. Every single character in Paw Patrol is a what?
A worker?
Blue-collar worker. You have Chase, who's a police officer.
I know this clip is probably fake, but if you guys have ever played the game Call of Duty, there is some sort of spirit that looks just like this. It's some sort of light entity, which I think is kind of weird because obviously this is a fake video, but this seems to be something that reoccurs throughout entertainment, games, and the things that we grew up on. So pretty strange, but you guys let me know what you think in the comments.
What is that? That is a tornado for sure. So can we go to someone's house? Go to there. Is there a house near us? We're going in here. Right here.
I truly cannot believe that nobody is talking about this. Watch this video and pay attention to how Orlando Breen exposes the whole entire industry.
This industry, what you must understand is, when you do sell your soul, you are allowed to live forever. And these people that are called youngins, rookies, new booties, like I was, had no idea that these people still live.
For those who don't know, he's the guy from That's So Raven.
It just feels like things are starting to get weirder and weirder as time goes on. Obviously, a lot of truth is coming to light, so there's a lot of things we're going to be finding out. You need to really pay attention, stay safe, and let me know your thoughts in the comments.
The greatest pop star to ever live, Michael Jackson, is still alive, and here is the proof. June 25th, 2009, Michael Jackson was publicly announced dead after he suffered cardiac arrest when an ambulance was called to his house because he was unresponsive. He was taken away and later died at the hospital. But someone unknowingly followed that ambulance to the hospital and saw them remove a man with a black sheet over his head from the back of the ambulance to an undisclosed location. Why else would they need to hide his identity? It was confirmed by the license plate that ambulance in that suspicious video was the same one he was taken away in. After pronounced taken to the coroner from the hospital via helicopter, but look at his under the sheet. This was the real helicopter he was taken away in, and it looks like his body is still very much moving under the sheet. His birth certificate and his death certificate have different names, as if the death certificate was just made to show the public. People question why his funeral was closed casket if there was nothing wrong with his appearance. His casket's now surrounded by cement. Some say so no fans dig up. Others say because there's no in there at all, and they want to make it impossible to find that out. Some say he attended his own funeral because Janet Jackson is looking right at this person who looks just like Michael. In 2016, there were news stories going around that he was alive because the features of his face were seen in the background of a car selfie from his own daughter Paris that he thought he was hidden in. But he wasn't. You can see the features and it got people theorizing.
This stuff has been right in front of our eyes this whole time. We just really haven't been paying attention to it, or we just kind of been blind to it. Just let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Can you believe this? Oprah Winfrey, the queen of daytime television, was once a suspected spy for the CIA. That's right, folks, the beloved media mogul, the woman who built an empire on empathy and generosity, has been shrouded in whispers and rumors of clandestine operations for years, and it doesn't stop at international espionage. Conspiracy theorists argue that Oprah's meteoric rise to fame and influence wasn't just due to her charisma and talent. They suggest that she was propelled by hidden forces within the media industry, using her as a pawn in their grand schemes. And what about her philanthropy? Some skeptics argue that Oprah's charitable endeavors aren't as altruistic as they appear. They claim that she used these initiatives as a smokescreen, manipulating the goodwill of the public for her own personal gain. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's more to Oprah's downfall than meets the eye. The once beloved talk show host, Oprah Winfrey, has now been canceled. But why, you might ask? Well, let's dive into the murky waters of the reasons behind this sudden fall from grace. It all started with a shift in public perception, a tide that turned against the once untouchable icon. Oprah's controversial interviews began to ruffle feathers, drawing backlash from viewers who once hung on to her every word. The whispers of discontent grew louder, eventually turning into a roar of disapproval. The criticism didn't only come from the public, but from her own guests too. Accusations started to fly, each one a blow to Oprah's once pristine reputation. The media mogul who once held the world's attention now found herself at the center of a storm she couldn't control. This isn't a simple tale of a celebrity losing their shine. It's a story of an empire crumbling. It seems like Oprah's reign in the media world has come to an unexpected end. Let's recap the main points on the Oprah controversy. It's a tale as old as time, a beloved figure rising to unimaginable heights, only to be shrouded in mystery and suspicion. Yes, we're talking about Oprah, the media mogul who once held the world in the palm of her hand. We've delved into the shocking allegation that placed Oprah as a suspected CIA spy, a claim that's as baffling as it is intriguing. We've also explored the conspiracy theories swirling around her influential role in the media industry, raising questions about the true extent of her power. Then came the controversial interviews, a series of candid conversations that rocked the world and left us all questioning the motives behind them. Finally, we've dissected the criticism that led to her cancellation, a surprising turn of events that marked a spectacular fall from grace. So there you have it, the dark history of Oprah Winfrey, a tale of power, controversy, and a spectacular fall from grace.
Ellen DeGeneres is not who you think she is.
Ellen DeGeneres
Mhm.
is supposed to be related to all the Rothschilds.
No.
So there's a big theory going on right now because you know how Ellen was like the sweetheart.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone loved her. She was
Mhm.
like our favorite host, right?
Mhm.
But recently,
She was canceled.
yeah, she was canceled because
Yeah.
every time she had like an engagement with a fan,
Mhm.
she was mean to staff. Like it was all bad reviews,
Yeah.
right? So I'm gonna read you
Mhm.
Ellen's family tree. Distant relative is Jane Seymour,
Mhm.
so who became the third wife of Henry V after Anne Boleyn was beheaded.
Wait, the king? King
yeah,
Henry?
the King Henry. Amelia Earhart,
No way.
her 8th cousin.
What?
And she's also cousins of
Oh, that's the Duchess. Prince William's.
Prince William's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prince William's wife. She's related to all these people, and people dug even deeper where they found her name, grandson of the Rothschilds.
Damn.
Grandson.
Yo.
By the way, this video is scripted and for entertainment purposes only. Stay weird.
Darkest conspiracy theories.
The Earth virus theory. This theory states that the Earth is a living organism, and we, you and I, the humans, are the virus. The Earth grows plenty of free food, and every animal seems to balance and coexist on Earth in sort of a circle of life. For instance, bees pollinate crops, moving from one plant to the next, fertilizing each plant. It's beneficial. Even though they're taking pollen, they're still being beneficial. But humans, we seem to not benefit the Earth at all. We're more destructive. We clear rainforests, kill the ocean with our plastics, puncture giant holes in the ozone with our chemicals and fuels, and we cause man-made climate disasters. We don't seem to coexist. But before I continue, question time. If aliens were about to destroy the planet, and one came up to you, they chose you, and said, if you show us 2 things on Earth of why we shouldn't destroy this planet and kill you all, what 2 things would you show them to save the Earth? Let me know down below. But anyways, think about the human body. When we're sick, our body creates antibodies to the viruses. That's exactly what the Earth does to us, creating earthquakes, droughts, tsunamis, and other natural disasters. Let's face it, we're destructive in nature. And while a tiny bit of us do try to help the planet, the majority of us selfishly harm it. Maybe we are the virus.
It took me 10 years to realize Bikini Bottom is actually garbage caused by pollution. The houses in the city are made out of car exhausts that fell in the ocean due to the pollution. But that's not all. The city is loaded with trash. Look at this rusty anchor that fell off a boat. The Krusty Krab is an abandoned crab trap that fell to the bottom of the ocean. And the reason Krabs owns it is because he was trapped inside it. Glove World is gloves that were used for Guten fish. And SpongeBob's house, a refreshment, and check.
He saw a ghost on the road, and the next day there was an accident in the same place. It's just past 3 a.m. and a truck driver named Ken was traveling north down the I-57, a north to south interstate highway in Missouri, Illinois, when out of nowhere he sees something out of the corner of his eye that startles him. Now, during his whole career of truck driving and delivering items, he had never seen anything this strange and creepy before. Confused at what he had seen, he decides to pull over and review his dash cam footage. This is what he saw.
You can go meet up with him and see if she can get him to confess. And it's a tough decision, I'm sure, but Amy ultimately agrees. She wears the wire.
A person clad in white can be seen walking across the highway in the middle of the night, and it appears as though they just came out of nowhere. This has left Ken terrified without a doubt, because the very next day, a tragic accident happens in this precise, exact location. The reports state that the injured people involved saw a lady dressed in all white on the middle of the road, causing them to react suddenly and swerve their car out of the way, resulting in a collision. What makes this even more chilling is that the interstate police reviewed the CCTV footage of the accident, and they didn't see any woman in white, just the car suddenly swerving for no apparent reason. The whole ordeal has left Ken completely shocked.
I would say this one is some sort of conspiracy. As you could tell, he sees this girl and the next day a tragic accident takes place. So I mean, I really do think this one might be real because there's a lot of occurrences that happen like this. But you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments.
A few years ago, a conspiracy theory about one of the world's favorite actors was posited by a Redditor in a now deleted thread, but recently, it began to resurface. The theory being that Jim Carrey was allegedly hiding a very dark secret. Remember one of Jim's first forays into serious dramatic acting? The number 23. Before diving into the Jim Carrey theory, we first must understand the significance of the 23 Enigma.
The Titanic sank on the morning of April 15th, 1912. That's 4151912. 23. The Hiroshima bomb was dropped at 8:15. 8 plus 15 is 23. The Mayans said the end of the world would come in 2012. 20 plus 1 plus 2 equals 23.
The 23 Enigma seems to trace back to author William S. Burroughs. Burroughs was talking with a man known as Captain Clark in Tangier, who was bragging to him that he had been sailing for 23 years without a single accident. That very day, he crashed his ship, an accident in which he and the entire crew. Later that night, as Burroughs was mulling over the ironic tragedy, the radio show he was listening to was interrupted by a bulletin announcing the crash of an airliner in Florida, of which there were no survivors. The pilot of the plane also named Captain Clark the flight number 23, the idea becoming that once you notice it, you see 23 everywhere. Though it may seem like a strange coincidence at first, it quickly becomes hypnotic and all-encompassing, completely ruling one's perspective of reality. Jim Carrey claims to have been obsessed with the 23 Enigma long before being cast in the movie, as his production company is called JC23 Entertainment, and his father played the saxophone and worked as an accountant, just like one of his characters in the movie. In The Number 23, Carrey plays Walter Sparrow, a family man whose life begins a downward spiral when his wife gives him a copy of The Number 23, a novel that contains a character named Fingerling, also played by Carrey, who is consumed by the 23 Enigma. When Walter receives the Number 23 book from his wife, he immediately envisions himself as the protagonist, a detective named Fingerling, and his real-world wife Agatha as Fingerling's girlfriend Fabrizia. Fingerling is sent to the scene of a frantic woman known only as the Blonde, who rants about the number 23 and that it ruined her life. He then witnesses her jump to her death. Later in the movie, as Walter is desperate to find out more about the number 23, which is now seemingly ruining his life, a man attacks him with a box knife before abruptly turning it on himself, his own throat. These are 2 of the 4 suicides featured in the movie, all of which Walter, or what turns out to be his past self, Fingerling, is present for. And this is where No One and Nobody 7's theory starts to take shape. The Twitter user theorizes Jim Carrey may actually be a serial killer who hides his crimes by masking them as suicide. And although I don't quite buy into the theory, there are some bizarre synchronicities. The following is one of the creepiest coincidences this user points out. Actor Charles Rocket was cast on Saturday Night Live for the 1980-81 season, beating out a young Jim Carrey for the role. Years later, in 1994, Rocket was cast as the conniving villain in Dumb and Dumber, one of 3 movies that released in that one year that propelled Carrey to absolute superstardom. Take a look at this moment from the film.
Catch up to him down the road and
It's important to point out that this line is not in the script, and Jeff Daniels' reaction appears to be genuine shock. But what does this have to do with Charles Rocket? Years later, Charles Rocket walked out into a field on his property in Connecticut and took his own way by slitting his own. No One and Nobody 7 alleges that this is one of several that were ruled as self-inflicted that were actually the work of Carrey. Strange enough, during another scene in Dumb and Dumber, the characters are seen crying while watching a sentimental Pacific Bell commercial, wiping their tears with money. The young boy in the commercial is actor Jonathan Brandis, who also unfortunately committed suicide on November 12, 2003. 11/12/2003. 23. Tragically, in 2015, Carrey's girlfriend passed away and the ruled as a suicide. The coroner ruled that the young woman had a lethal overdose of multiple prescription medications. Carrey's girlfriend was married but separated, and after her passing, a lawsuit by her estranged widower revealed that the medications were prescribed to Carrey under the false name Arthur King, which he then allegedly provided to her. Carrey denied any wrongdoing, and in 2016 the wrongful lawsuit was thrown out, but the whole thing obviously plays into the theory. So No One and Nobody 7 goes much deeper and further into detail, although in my opinion, it never really leads to a concise theory, but more of a number of coincidences surrounding Carrey that quickly become harder and harder to follow.
Go ahead. Tell yourself it's just a number.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on in the world there, so you guys really need to be safe. Positive energy around you. Stay blessed, and guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna be coming with new videos every day. Thank you guys for the support. Let me know your favorite part of the video. What made you tremble in your boots, and we're gonna be on to the next one.